What going on, y'all? This is back, obviously, for another episode post game after the Denver Nuggets versus San Antonio Spurs, in a game that is just definitely not what I expected or thought would happen. You know, the Spurs are a good team. They've won 5 or 6 without Victor Wembanyama. There was always a chance they could win this game, but I don't know what to make of what the Nuggets thought this game was going to be. They just flat, like, offensively cool. Cam Johnson balled today, y'all. He had 28 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, 6 of 9 from 3. Him and Devin Vassell was going bar for bar. He deserved to win tonight. He played a good two-way game today. The defense was good from Cam Johnson. Jamal Murray, 37 points, 7 assists, and 4 rebounds for Jamal. 5 of 8 from 3, 6 of 7 from the free throw line. Ball. Great game for Jamal. 13 of 20. You got, between those two players, you got 65 points between Cam Johnson and Jamal Murray. That should have been plenty enough. And the way the game went, the Nuggets got up 18 at one point in the third quarter, y'all. 18. But for whatever reason, I'm not going to speculate because I have no idea. And so maybe there's, stuff going on, whatever. I don't know. For whatever reason, Nikola Jokic walked into this game saying, they don't need me. They don't need me to be, my normal self and be engaged and to shoot the ball. All I'm going to do is set screens, roll, pass. Set screens, roll, pass. And then if I get some looks inside, cool. Jokic in this game was 7 of 10 from the field. And what's so crazy about it, he was 7 of 10 from the field. But Jokic was 5 of 8 going into the fourth quarter with like 5 minutes left. And it wasn't like the Spurs were fronting. They were doing similar stuff to what the Lakers did last year. But it was Jokic choosing to disengage as a scorer. And I'm just sitting here like, dude, like, he still had 21, 10, and 9 today. But this is what I'm telling y'all. If you watch Jokic for years, the difference between him having a 21, 10, and 9 dominant game, where he's the best player on the floor in the world by far, and 21, 10, and 9, like today, where it's just a collection of walking through the game, just kind of, I'm doing what I'm doing, but on minimal effort. This is what that game was today. Y'all, it got to a point where I was watching Jonas Valanciunas in the play, and I'm telling you this right now. When the Nuggets bench came in the game, the Nuggets were down 8 at the end of the first quarter. The Nuggets bench came in the game, got them the lead. And when I was watching the game, I'm sitting here like, bro, I mean, at this point, I would almost rather that they just simply keep them in the game and you just keep it rolling. But like Jokic came in the game, the Nuggets, they went on a 15-0 run in 2 minutes and 26 seconds in the second quarter. Jokic had a behind-the-back dunk layup to Spencer Jones. That was crazy. Jamal Murray started off the third quarter with a step-back three-pointer and then had another three-pointer off another look. And then Devin Vassell and him were going at it. Vassell hit a 3. Murray came back down. Bow. Hit another 3. 3 straight threes for Jamal. Cam Johnson got a 3 off a short roll. Jones got a dunk off a Jokic double. Cam got a 3 off of Jamal Murray driving the ball. I'm sitting here like, all right, 18-point lead. Y'all know what y'all got to do. Shut the door. But I'm watching, and like the offense and the process is good. Let me tell y'all something. I don't even know if they've updated it yet. So that's my bad. I didn't take the exact score down of what it was. I think it was 104, 103. Might have been 104, 103 going into the fourth quarter. Let me explain this to y'all. The Nuggets gave up 41 points in the first quarter. That's the most points they've given up in any game this year. Any game, regardless of quarter. Then they gave up 19 points in the second quarter. So they locked in. They played defense, got a double-digit lead. And in the third quarter, they gave up 44 points. 44 points they gave up in the third quarter. And then in the last quarter, it looks like they gave up 36 points. 41, 44, 36. Simple as this. Their defense, since with the Kings, defense versus the Bulls, defense versus the Warriors, the same thing. Their three-point defense, they get real lazy on the perimeter. And here's the thing about this team. It's not that they're smelling their own stuff, but the issue is with this roster, they play defense at a top 5 level when they lock in. When they don't lock in, they play defense at a bottom 10 level. And if you look at the last few games they played, their defense versus the King, they were getting killed on jump shot. Their defense versus the Spurs, getting killed on jump shot. Their defense versus this Bulls team, getting killed on jump shots. The defense in the Portland game towards the end of the game, getting killed on jump shots. The Warriors getting killed on jump shot. There's a common theme in all these losses. And here's the thing. I'm not like frustrated long term. I'm more frustrated in the right now. 5 losses. Spurs, Kings, Bulls, Portland, Warriors. They are significantly better than 4 of these teams and better by a good degree than the first one in the Warriors. They are much better than all these teams, especially without Victor Wembanyama. So what is the common thread? Why are they not showing up in these games that they're easily could have won? They're 13-5, y'all. They should be 16-2 at minimum. 16-2 should be their record. So I think for Nuggets players, they're going to play it like, like it's a stretch of the season. And I agree for the most part. But the problem is it's almost like you're lollygagging. And the fans are watching you lollygag. The analysts are watching you lollygag. It's almost as if they think that they're like, I don't really know, like just maybe a little better than what they are. I mean, but not even that. Like Jokic talked about last week, they need to be a better team. Their record is saying they're better than what they are. And I'm like, yeah, Jokic's been playing phenomenal this year. But in this game, they needed him to be more assertive. And especially, I think in the third quarter, if you got an 18-point lead, Jokic, go hunt. Let me tell y'all how bad it was. There was a stretch in the game where Peyton Watson took a three-pointer that was rushed. Jokic didn't touch the ball. Spencer Jones took a three-pointer that was rushed. Jokic didn't touch the ball. Tim Hardaway Jr. tried to split a double team, turn the ball over. Peyton Watson had a layup, missed the layup. Jokic didn't touch the ball. There were stretches where Jokic was so willing to concede the possessions to everybody else around him that the momentum completely faded away, and he didn't do anything. When the Spurs went on their run, they went on a 9-0 run. They were up double digits. Spurs went on a 9-0 run in the third quarter. Jokic was just, the sloth from Zootopia. He's just sitting here just letting it happen. So some of this is real simple. Like, you just can't do that. And it's not going to, like, this is what I'm saying. Like, we just, you need to just chill, like, just trolling constantly. Like, my issue is with this is that what I want for is that this team, they have to play a better game as a whole. They have to play a better game as a whole. And some of this is as simple as, like, Jokic, I don't know what gets you to the place where you're scoring like 33, 12, and 11 on 74, and then you're like, no shooting. I'm not shooting. I don't know what the switch is. I don't know, like, what causes that to happen in his brain. Like I said, maybe he's sick. I know his wrist was hurting. I don't know, but he made the three-pointer that he had to make at the end of the game. But again, Jamal Murray played a phenomenal game. He played an all-NBA level game, so I'm not going to go too hard. Jamal Murray missed free throw down the stretch of the game. They could have tied the game up. Instead of them going up 3 in the next 3, they could have gone up 2, changes the game plan. Okay? And then Jamal Murray gets the rebound off a tip, forces the ball back up when he doesn't need to, and instead of simply gathering himself after a missed floater because he got tight, he then jumps up and comes back down with the ball when the shot clock reset to 14. And I'm just like, all right, you're only down 3. And the Nuggets three-point defense, they kept overhelping on the short roll, and then they would give the corner up, or they would give the wing up to Devin Vassell. Now, Devin Vassell made 7 threes, y'all. What are we doing? For what? Why? So, I mean, Yeah, it's definitely like very interesting, man. It's very interesting that I think Jokic goes through these waves of like obscene dominance and all that kind of stuff. And then whatever. Like the last two games he's seen, the Spurs, Jokic had 41 and 46 points. 41 and 46 points the last two games that he's played versus the San Antonio Spurs. But then today, but here's the thing, CT. That's what was happening, even with how they were switching. Who cares? Like it wasn't even like they were putting so much pressure on Jokic when you were getting denied the ball. The issue is that I think Jokic, when he just wasn't demanding the possession. Like literally, they would go stretches without touching the basketball. So I don't, it's definitely interesting. Like I said, like they've lost to 5 teams, all worse to them. They showed up last Friday. This last Friday, they played the best defensive game the Houston Rockets have seen all year. Jokic was phenomenal last Friday. So it's like, okay, so when Jokic and Jamal, when Cam Johnson was great. When y'all are motivated, Jokic, when you're motivated, and Murray and Cam, y'all can do anything without Aaron Gordon and Christian Brown. But ever since Aaron Gordon and Christian have gotten down, the defense has been, Ever since that 55-point game, the defense has been, Bull, Rockets, really good. King, So, they got some decisions they got to make. It's as simple as that. It's frustrating, man. Like, especially for fans that were at the game. They haven't played a lot of home games lately, y'all. Like, and you just like lackadaisical just because? Like, it's crazy to me. 13 and 5, and I'm just like, why? It's just like unnecessary losses. Like, y'all, they're 3 and 3 in their last 6 games. Losses to Chicago, Sacramento, San Antonio, no Wemby. What are you doing? They play Phoenix, Dallas, Indiana, Atlanta, Charlotte. That should be 5 straight wins. 5. Will they do it? Like, it's weird, man. Like, I'm not going to, overplay it and all that kind of stuff. It is what it is. But for whatever reason, Jokic just kind of like today was like, I'm good. Like, I'm not really going to be too aggressive and blah, blah, blah. And maybe that's where they're missing Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon never, he's never going to just settle into the game. He's always going to take it to the opponent. Maybe they're missing part of that. But my whole thing is like, so so they have given up since the Houston game 128 points, 115 points, and 139 points. I'm just like, you out of Houston at 109, number 1 offense in the league. So you can do it when you want. The last 3 games, they haven't wanted to do it. Why? So, overall numbers, it is what it is. Like I said, Jamal Murray was spectacular today, y'all. Like, Cam Johnson was spectacular. Both of those dudes showed up, showed out, and did exactly what they were supposed to do today. 65 points between those two. The defense from Cam was great. Great. Navigating screens, picking off DHO'd, did a great job. But Devin Vassell, 35 points. Julian Champagnie, 25 points. You got beat. Now, the bench was better than the Nuggets bench, but the bench for the Nuggets wasn't bad. Jonas Valanciunas is a +3 today. Nikola Jokic, you're -6 today. That's what it felt like. Like Cam Johnson, 28. Nick Jokic, 21. Jamal Murray, 37 on 65% from the field. Cam, 28 points on 16 shots, +7. And you lost because your defense wasn't good enough, but also Jokic, you just decided that this was a game that you were just not going to be fully engaged. Now, I don't know what's going on. There could be some other thing. I have no idea. So I'm not going to, speculate on any of that, but I'm watching this game today, and I'm sitting here like, yo, if it had to be one, if you needed to win this game 148 to 139, then go do that. That's just how the NBA is sometimes. Go have 30, 12, and 12. But literally, though, he just like disengaged. You know, it's as simple as that. I don't know. Adamant wasn't great, by the way. Adamant was not great. You know, I think that he definitely that you know, the challenge wasn't great, but they did get hold on kind of the last 3 out of bounds calls, but they didn't have a challenge. The NBA could have easily challenged at the desk to confirm if the ball went off a Fox. Didn't do it. It's weird process for them. You know, Zeke Naji, man, like he was a minus 13 today. Tim Hardaway minus 16. He was out there with Jokic in the last stretch of the game, so that's why I was minus 16. I thought he played well. You know, they're running a 9-man rotation right now. No AG, no Christian Brown. Zeke Naji played 14 minutes. He was a minus 13. You know, he just doesn't have like some of the – but he was really good, I thought, in the second quarter. Like, played good defense, getting rebounds. He had 4.4 rebounds, 2 putbacks that he had. But, yeah, definitely down the stretch of the game, some questionable decisions. Like I said, Zeke Naji had a forced 3 with Jokic on the floor. Peyton Watson had a forced 3 with a Jokic on the floor. Spencer Jones had a forced 3 with Jokic on the floor. That's why I'm sitting here just like, yo, they're sputtering. Get control. Go force the issue. But Jokic was just, you know. But the Spurs are on a run, and Spencer, Zeke, Peyton, they're taking the shots. You're literally playing into their hands. Jokic, just go score 50. Why not? You just did it. Go score 40. You can do it whenever you want. And the turnovers for the team, Jokic had 4. Turnovers is 16 turnovers. I think they scored 20. They scored 20 plus points. 20 plus points off of turnovers for Denver today. They gave up 17 threes. The Nuggets hit 16 themselves. The Nuggets were 24 of 30 from the free throw line. The Spurs were 30 of 32. You miss your free throws, you lose the game. That's simple as that. The Nuggets had 14 offensive rebounds. They gave up 12 long ball rebounds. They gave up 30 assists today. The Nuggets had 17 turnovers today. The Spurs scored 30 points off Nuggets turnovers. 30 points. Yeah, bro. Silly basketball. It starts with 15. So, yeah, man, definitely like not as bad as the New York Knicks game last year, but just kind of like, you know, everybody has these games where it's just you're not fully there. You're not as, you know, you're not where you need to be. And you turn the ball over as much as you did, and you're going to lose this game. You give up the most points you give up to anybody all season after playing one of your best defensive games last Friday, and you lose to the Spurs. So they should win the next 5. They should be 18-5 by the time we revisit the conversation about the streak based on where the schedule is. That's on them. They're 18-5. All of a sudden we're having different discussions, but just weird. Bulls, Kings, Spurs. Those are your last 3 losses at home. Again, we're not talking about like teams that are in your weight class or better than you. You're clearly not playing up to your level. Other teams are showing up. You're over here just kind of lollygagging through the street. But y'all know what time